FC Naples continue to bloom in this first campaign, unbeaten and hoping to make a bit of history in their own right against Richmond Kickers, the side that's hottest on their heels in the league table. It's 1-2 in that table today. And for Richmond Kickers, the road side, home side, the teenager that has really cemented himself between the pipes for this Kickers bunch will have his hands full here in this one again. Players to watch are brought to you by Parker Hudson Homes. Out to line.
Same shirt.
Is it?
Well, yours is new, obviously.
It only looks new. That's because he takes it to Tide Cleaners, where we keep clothes looking newer 50% longer. At Tide Cleaners, we care about your clothes as much as you do.
How's it look?
Newer 50% longer.
Awesome.
Hey, same order.
Head to my.tidecleaners.com to get started.
Luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. At Parker Hudson Homes, we craft bespoke residences where elegance meets effortless comfort. From custom builds to refined remodels, every detail is designed around you, your style, your vision, your way of living. Create a home that's truly yours and discover Parker Hudson Homes today.
Here on Florida's Paradise Coast, you can play your way. Whether you prefer an action-packed court, a leisurely round of golf, or the thrill of watching a professional soccer match, your only challenge is finding a way to do it all. So visit a luxurious playground that scores big for everything from its award-winning beaches to its incredible restaurants. Because when you want a vacation where all is perfect, only Paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Team sheets fresh from the press, and the league's manager of the month, Matt Poland. This is the side posed as a 4-3-3, Cerro and Farine behind the ever-dangerous Carson Henderlong, coming off a Team of the Week performance. Joined in that formation is Chris Heckenberg, and center circle. Naples unbeaten in their first season of operation. Richmond with upset intention on the minds. Off and running, folks. Happy to be here for you. Peyton Gallagher to take you through the 90 minutes. The sun glistening. The game basking in the twilight tones of South Florida. Once more, these teams have played 5 games each. They find themselves at the top of the heap. It's 1-2. Plenty of signs with matches in hand, but it's a little bit more than semantic to say that these have been 2 of the best sides in the USL League One to commence this year. Off the chest of Henderlong, who thought he may have been interfered with. Instead, play allowed to continue to the other ends. Naples have done such a good job of controlling game state. It's been difficult to make them uncomfortable. Something that Darren Sawatsky told us that they really weren't looking to do in any particular area of the game. They want to make FC Naples feel the precarious positions of the entire contest, not just one place on the field. It is a hard-charging bunch, this group from Virginia. Sharp focus, sharp mentality. After what was a bit of a stumbling season last year, I saw them come on late and just barely creep inside the playoff line before being dispatched in the first round by Union Omaha. Got a little bit of get back against that bunch in the midweek, and they will feel the confidence from that. across the area, something to chase for Cerro. And it skips out of place on this near side. Plenty of space to explore on the far flank now. Keys to the game are presented by Florida's Paradise Coast. For Naples, working on refining those patterns of play in the final third. Access to the area. It's not been granted lightly by this Naples bunch. Richmond will try to, instead of maybe relying on some of those distance efforts that have served them so well, get a little bit closer to the goal mouth against a spine that has been very strong, and there is a man down. At glance, it looks like it's the youngster Griffin Garnett, the youngest player to play in USL League One this year. He just took one across the chops from Jaden Onen. Replay presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare, and Griffin Garnett requiring immediate assistance from the physio, and you just hope he's all right.
Fans, join us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. as we take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies for the first time. It's a high-stakes winner-go-home matchup in the prestigious U.S. Open Cup. We need your support to stay alive in the cup.
Players looking on. Griffin Garnett, who has been so strong over the last year and change, breaking into this Richmond side, really finding himself at the front end of what promises to be an immense career, quite frankly. Matt Poland has found himself in a similar position in his first year at the helm of this SC Naples project. Youngest coach in the league. He's proving to be one of the brightest as well. Immediately imbuing this Naples group with a tactical nous to go along with a hard-tooth type of mentality, suitably called the blue colors. Those adorning, in the literal sense, both the home and away kit, but also is tied quite centrally to the heart of this club. As Garnett continues to receive treatment, Richmond will defend with 10 men for now. Breck Evans. Down the line it goes. Glasser receiving. Espinal got a little bit of a nipple, but it falls in for Cerro. Cisneros spun into the area and stuck away. Espinal unable to thread through the final ball. Kevin O'Connor, we've seen him deployed in a wide range of positions throughout the course of the year. Moonlit as a fullback. The sides win in the Open Cup against Little Rock Rangers, much more naturally at home in the center of the park, playing a little bit deeper to start this game. Now getting out of the way. The oncoming defender there, it looked like Dangler. Ball served into the box, knotted out at the near stick. Bonathan with the cover in, and it's the first corner of the match for FC Naples. An area of sizable threat for this bunch that have found much menace from dead balls. Scored a pair of corners against Texoma their last time out. Matt Poland underscored the point that it's not just about the size and aerial acrobatics of their big boys attacking this up from the back. It's the players' willingness to make runs, set picks, and really open things up. This corner kick is brought to you by Anderson. Chris Heckenberg, who found himself in the team of the week this past week for doing exactly this with in swing at the back post. Dangler and nodded in. SC Naples hit the fronts. It's simply what they do. Dangler cued it back across goal and waiting to make good. Andres Farine. Almost like divine will that ball hit the back of the net. Came straight off the woodwork and backboarded in by Farine, who was ready to be Johnny on the spot. Put the ball in dangerous places. And that is the results. And Richmond go back to the drawing board. Griffin Garnett has rejoined now. Garnett patched up. No other injuries to report for Richmond. Still Justin Weiss, who's down for Naples. Missed the entirety of the season so far, but we're told he's close to getting back. Out for a goal kick. That injury report was presented by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro. Big enough to handle serious cases, small enough to care. Dangler coasting out from his own end. Whistle is blown. I mean, Hadzic is the center official today. Alexandra Focia, Hillis Waddell are the ones running the lines. John Roche will hold the board. Sloping switch of play. Espinal. And Vaughn. Back to Franca. And all the way back to Stenton. Franca with a flick on. Falling for O'Dwyer. Quickly cut out by Glasser. And Dangler sweeps up. Delgado under duress. Dodges one out of play. It was a bit dicey trying to build out from the back. Darren Sawatsky is adamant his side have been pressing higher and higher this year so far. Throughout this early season, they've had much more success winning the ball in elevated areas. Engaging their opponent in their own end and reaping something of a dividend. Snipped back by Cerro, sent into the center. Onan back for Cerro. Ian Cerro on approach. Back post ball. Farine's gone down, and it's just skipped away to Sneddon. And Richmond roll out on the run. Just a bit overbaked in the final ball toward Matt Baldock. SC Naples is looking to keep their run going in the U.S. Open Cup against USL Championship team Tampa Bay Rowdies. Scan the QR code to get your tickets for Wednesday's high-stakes matchup. That could be a historic night for this club. Those tickets are going fast. Trust me, I looked earlier today. Down the line from Glasser. A tumbling as Shenfield got twisted up with Cerro. The Ruse taking it in tow. Ian Cerro lost himself in a forest of white shirts. Vaughn. Richmond increasingly with a foot on the ball here. Onan looking to do something about that. Henderlong flicked ahead for Onan. Shifting into fifth gear and cleared by Sneddon. Once more, it's a direct approach from Richmond, and once more, it's fruitless. Hard to disorganize this Naples team. That has been the calling card for Matt Poland. Drilled in the defensive structure. At this point, FC Naples are going on over 400 minutes of active league play since they last conceded a goal. Approaching 600 minutes since they last conceded in all competitions. Cerro's onto it. Henderlong now. And Cerro. This is the type of patterning that we were certainly underscoring earlier on in the game. Naples' ability to play off one another and be inventive in the final third. You only wonder about how high this side could potentially fly if they can create that kind of attacking identity to go along with the defensive one that they've already carved out. Henderlong arriving on the doorstep of Sneddon. The young goalkeeper does well. Off the midriff of Dwyer, who thrusts forward, jousting it back for his bunch. And he goes over easily. Waved off by the center official. A frantic to and fro. O'Connor. And Onen. Been doing a good job of making things claustrophobic. Henderlong spinning and twisting. And it's going to be a throw. Richmond thankful for that indication. USL kicks off Sunday. CBS Sports Network, the Birmingham Legion will try to derail the fast-starting El Paso Locomotive. Again, that's tomorrow, April 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Network. Naples may treat this like a corner. It seems they're preparing the long throw. Catapult at the ready. Or literally Julian Cisneros. Henderlong ahead on. Shenfield trying to send away. Naples meeting their opponent up high and meeting them with well too much conviction as the foul is awarded. Not sure what the plan was there. Nonetheless, it's merely a throw. That is what support sounds like. A buoyant drum line at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. Richmond rollicking upfield. And snapping in for the tackle was Ian Cerro. Franca. Sniffed out. Cerro trying to link in O'Connor. O'Connor has it in hand and obtained it by illegal means. He's off to a great start. Was out of the game a couple of years prior to this. Kevin O'Connor. The Irishman has made a quick impact, an impression with FC Naples. And the stoppage time winner, of course, against Sarasota in the first round of their Open Cup excursion, has just continued to provide quality in all phases. And that will be the first yellow card of the match. I think they're going to get Griffin Garnett, who hasn't had the most fun start to this game, you might say, after catching one in the face earlier.
A yellow card has been issued to the Richmond.
They got him on knocking the ball down with his hand, which stopped the attack. Yellow card brought to you by the law offices of Markel Shapiro. In by O'Connor with drifts off the foot of Dangler. Falls kindly for Ian Serra. A live ball off his left, fired in, and a skipping stone wide. It is narrow margins that keep FC Naples from doubling their lead. James Sneddon relieved. Richmond hanging on by their fingernails. Andres Farine. Imagination for a brace inside the first 20 minutes of play. The Roos under siege at the outset. Scrambling to just put a foot on it. The ball wriggles all the way out over the line. Will be a throw and a chance for Richmond to really get the press going. This is exactly where you want to bring the extra bodies, as Naples are pinned up in their own corner. Griffin Garnett. A bit of a looper back to fellow Academy product James Sneddon, who has no recourse other than to just boot it as far as he can. Naples onto this unbelievable start to their life as a professional club. Now 5 games in the league unbeaten, and for those keeping score at home, the all-time record is 8 for an expansion club in their inaugural campaign. That would be held by Union Omaha. Naples already stand alone as the 3rd best start ever. North Texas SC, the only other side that's ahead of them, their mark at 7. And what do those two teams have in common? Oh yeah, that's right, they both won titles. Omaha, in fact, 2 of them. Just evidence to the rarefied air. It's not too early to react to this. And it is a reaction to what FC Naples have done, not an overreaction. Scraping away down this near touch line. That's well worked by Shenfield. Looking for space to turn now. A searching ball. Shenfield had gotten inverted. Couldn't put a leash to that one as it sprayed towards his direction. Henderlong. That's cheeky. Farine's got pace. Andres Farine. Ambition in his eyes. Squared. Henderlong has another. No one in the way of FC Naples. Neapolitan delight. 2-0. Scoring is a habit for Carson Henderlong. beats the defender to the inside shoulder and makes no mistake. No pointier spear tip, maybe in the entire landscape of the American game right now, than Carson Henderlong, who makes it 5 goals for him in the league. And just to put a framework around that, he only played 5 times last year for Indy 11. That is a man breathing fresh Florida air and feeling like himself again, back amongst the goals, and Richmond with their backs against the wall. The goal is brought to you by Hopsized Brewing Company. And the way things have gone for FC Naples, you might be hearing the name Hopsized a lot. 3 goals in back-to-back games in the league and the cup, and well on course, adding another full harvest of scoring tallies at this trajectory. It is unbelievable what this FC Naples program is already accomplishing. Nobody saw this coming. And it feels like somehow they're just getting better and better with each passing stride. Naples hunting in packs, doing the same as Richmond. O'Dwyer unable to gain full purchase, and foul has been committed. The average age of this Naples squad, again, once more, just to call attention to the fact that it is truly remarkable what they are already doing, is only 25. Not a ton of USL League One experience scattered across the roster. I believe it was only Chris Heckenberg and Jake Dangler who scored goals last year in USL League One that were in the mix for this Naples bunch, but it's almost as if when you get to this kind of threshold, the experience is irrelevant, as this group doesn't necessarily know what they don't know yet. They've not tasted the sting and bitterness of defeat yet. Full trust in the process, no apprehension, and Matt Poland, the youngest manager in the league, has full buy-in. Henderlong has another whiff and not taking any chances there with Franca. That was something that Matt Poland was certainly adamant with us about. Every other league distinction, whether it's Team of the Week, Player of the Week, Player of the Month, all of that comes attached to some degree of individual performance. You can do those things without having to have the team success. That's not what Manager of the Month is. That is truly the only team award, as that will be a yellow card. Cero paying the price. But that was the message for Matt Poland. And you can tell that the kind of faith he's had in his team has been returned, as Cero certainly feeling the after effects. Did not play against Texoma, Ian Cero, getting a touch of rest, and there's a lump left on him by Max Shenfield. And as you saw, Shenfield was booked there. And further discourse being had between he and the center official. A swig of water. Richmond will be grateful for the chance to dust themselves down a bit. Game's not gone, but the way that Naples have defended, that task looks as tall as Everest at the moment.
We need your support to stay alive in the cup.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy the big leagues. Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com. The latest Select product specials and more. Select, it's called the player's choice for a reason. So it's Andres Farine and Carson Henderlong who have the goals for FC Naples. Snedden will watch it go over the frame. Farine was the first ever goal scorer, doing so from a penalty kick. Actually leveled the contest that was led at the time by Chattanooga Red Wolves to get a 1-1 draw, and that's the last time somebody scored against FC Naples in the league. Obviously the last time this group trailed in a match in league play as well. And then Carson Henderlong, who went on to score the first open play goal in club history. Later on in a match against Forward Madison. Well worth little flick on header, provided by Josh Kirkland, but Richmond once more unable to latch on. It should be said, Richmond on the midst of what is something of a renaissance. They didn't get their 4th league win until September 14th last year. If they do muster a heroic comeback today, they would have their 4th league win on, checking the calendar, April 12th. So you do the math, that's a pretty big discrepancy and is instructive to how Richmond have really redefined the way they're doing things. A couple of injections of talent and youth across the squad. Everything started to go well for them once James Snedden stepped into goal last year and carried some of that momentum into this season. That has not served them well today, though. Glasser combining nicely with Kevin O'Connor. Half hour gone. O'Connor trying to slide in for Rain. Dangler, they're able to close up shot. Farine. Cisneros finding the feet of Farine, and now Onan, time to turn, and he looks up and launches forward. On the connective point, it's Ian Cerro, slurving one in. It falls out to Max Glasser. Cerro, busy as always, shooting one into the channel, and chopped away. Cerro is dispossessed. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the original official ticketing partner, I should say, of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Tossed in. Will fall for Kirkland. Kirkland wriggling and writhing. Still Kirkland. Hung on as long as he could. The odds just stacked too tallly against him. Kirkland, coming off his first league start of the year against Union Omaha, had been used as a substitution in the 4 prior games. He has shown some malice so far at the top end of the formation for Darren Sawatsky. We'll just have to watch this one go, though. Goal kick coming. Although Delgado has not had much to do. Henderlong just taping the ball down and wins the foul. Such a weapon when you can just play into the big man, and he doesn't gain control of the ball. Oftentimes he can win the foul and advance you all the same. Struggling with the ball at feet is Andres Farine. Picks out a bit of a risky pass, but it comes off to Dangler. Richmond have backed off their press for now. James Stenton, who was coming into this game having posted his first league clean sheet in 9 consecutive matches against Union Omaha, was superb in that game. Already seen his defenses buckle twice today. That's a well-crafted pass. It's Darwin Espinal now. Espinal. Darwin Espinal! Super strike! Darwin Espinal invigorates the imagination. A mind-bending blast off that right foot.
Richmond kicker goal by Darwin.
Unreal.
35th minute.
There's not a goalkeeper on earth who stops that. And just like that, the tie turned on its head. Deficit in half, it's 2-1. So Richmond, a new lease on life.
A special shout out to our friends at Lake Park Dining.
Had generated nothing until Darwin Espinal
Our players fueled and
took matters into his own hands, and he has been a gem for this program.
FC Naples shape. Lake Park Diners.
He had scored in the last 2 games, once against Madison, once against Omaha, and now it is 3 on the skip for him. As Griffin Garnett is getting further examination. Picked up that knock in the first 5 minutes or so, and physio's evaluating him.
Join us on Wednesday at 7 p.m. as we take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Not much in the way of defensive reinforcement for Darren Sawatsky if he is to look into the dugout.
We need your support to stay alive in the cup.
Hayden Anderson is more naturally a fullback. And it looks like they will actually call upon Neil Seufert as Griffin Garnett is done for the day. Substitution is brought to you by Seminole Casino Hotel, and Neil Seufert, who has been a touch of quality in mid-park this year, in more attacking phases. He missed the Union Omaha game. He's brought in to replace a center back here, so we'll see how Darren Sawatsky will shuffle his lineup to make amends at the back. Dakota Barnathan has been playing in the pivot this year. That might be the natural choice to move back to make way for Seufert. And Richmond, all of a sudden, playing with real attacking intent. Henderlong. Wide man is Serro. Spare man is O'Connor, and the ball never makes its way there. Shenfield shuttled into central spaces and plowed right back in his direction. Serro was stride for stride. Max Shenfield, the team's leader in chances created this year. Trying to do that again in the final third. Shenfield, Matt Boldock. First touches for Neil Seufert. Espinal. Seufert again. Plenty of time to hatch a plan. And certainly the cunning to do so as well. Onan. Oh, he's worked that out quite well. O'Connor does it in turn as well. Henderlong puts a boot to it. Cavalry coming. Carson Henderlong and Ian Serro measures a ball into the box. Nodded away at the first blush. Glasser in gear. Serro circling in. Glasser, probing ball, searching in at the back posts, over the head of Andres Farine. Farine can't make the back heel stick, and it's slapped out for a goal kick. SC Naples is looking to keep their run going in the U.S. Open Cup against USL Championship team Tampa Bay Rowdies. Scan the QR code, get your tickets for Wednesday's high-stakes matchup. There is nothing in American sports quite like the U.S. Open Cup. Glasser reflected on a play for a throw. Naples with reckless abandon rumble into the attacking half, and Henderlong has been fouled again. Referee saying you can't bear hug him. And at the current rate, you might be tracking some of those central defenders, particularly Franca, down the line here for potentially a persistent infringement yellow card. But for the time being, it's the attacking end for Richmond kickers. And then it's snipped back. Serro, a stop, a start. And cut out by the Roos. O'Connor. Onan. He's undercut, and that's going to be a caution. And there it is for Franca.
The yellow card has been issued to Richmond's number 14, Guilherme Franca. This yellow card brought to you by the law.
Guilherme Franca
Mark L.
just
Shapiro.
stepping on the toes. And by the way he reacted, you can tell he immediately saw the referee reaching for his pocket without much hesitation. So Naples were flying. The Floridians in fast fashion were ahead 2-0. A wonder strike from Darwin Espinal. Put some tension back in the contest, and now ahead of another set piece, FC Naples hoping to stretch their lead again ahead of halftime. There's two players up for it. Looked like both Dangler and Breck Evans rose. And in the end, neither end up with the ball. Maybe even a foul was awarded. Sten wanted to go quick, but the referee is having a word. Things starting to boil up a little bit. Dangler receiving a little bit of clarity. Sent spiraling by Snedden. O'Connor gets a touch, Sarrell gets another. Whistle is one. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157, the new Sirius XM app. Phoenix Rising and Detroit City FC on the dial for you this evening. That will be a good one in the USL Championship. Ryan Sikora and Kevin Cardez doing a great job with the radio coverage of Phoenix Rising down in the Valley of the Sun. There are two balls on the field. Sent sloping towards the Naples end. Wisely winning the foul is Neil Seufert. Just put himself, his body between the men and the ball. It's going to be 6 minutes of stoppage time. Now, mind you, there was that long pause in play for Griffin Garnett to be examined early in the game. He's since been removed. And this is going to be another booking. Richmond salivate over a set piece. Looks like it belongs to James Vaughn. Into stoppage time in the first half. Richmond trailed by a pair of goals within the first 25 minutes. Vaughn in, punched away, the knuckle applied by Lalo Delgado. And on the front foot, racing out, are FC Naples, carving away. Cisneros and stymied. It was Biteless, and Snedden positioned himself as a worthy obstacle in the one-on-one. Julian Cisneros, the fullback, it looked like, leaking out, finding himself on the business end. Somewhat deflating for FC Naples. See what they have for a response before we hit the curtain fall. Glasser, well, that's a taming touch from O'Connor, but he can't meet the quality of the first touch with the second as he just boots it out of play. Off the back heel, then off the head. Vaughn with swerve. Off the side of the boot now. Naples refused to give up any grounds. That Darwin Espinal goal was the first one scored in league play against SC Naples in over 400 minutes. And that was the kind of strike it was going to take. A picture-perfect effort from him to get Richmond back into the contest and renew some of the interest. And showing interest is Shenfield, who streams into the final third. Gets a cross in. Second ball is stunted away. And another foul. Amin Hadzic doing his best to keep a leash on things. Keep the mercury down. We are 5 minutes into the 6 minutes given. Dwyer up for it. Glasser's in for it. And out of play. Tell Shenfield to trace some steps and back in motion. Henderlong. And he hounds the opposition into a giveaway. You never want to give FC Naples a free swing at the piñata from the corner flag, but Richmond have done exactly that. They will have to hold their nerve here. Corner kick presented by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. Kevin O'Connor. It was placed dangerously. Second effort. And Julian Cisneros unable to get full laces to that, and that will be the last kick of the half. And a half it was. 45-minute thrill show in South Florida, where SC Naples hold the edge after the first frame. 2-1 is the score. We set to step aside. Halftime report presented by Physicians Regional Healthcare Systems is coming up. There's plenty to sink the teeth into. Naples were quick from the gun. 2 goals in front, but then Darwin Espinal would like to have a word. He gets one back, and we have a contest on our hands, folks. Naples had the nose in front. More to come at the halftime report.
Floater save made by Delgado.
More tables, more entertainment.
back from the break. The Physicians Regional Healthcare System halftime report. And it has Naples 2-1 up on Richmond Kickers, this top of the table clash. The team of the week from that bygone. And yeah, a lot of FC Naples players represented. In fact, to be precise, 4 of them. They've had 9 in the 5 teams of the week to date. A lot of them have been Carson Henderlong for good reason. He just keeps on scoring. Has another one here in our game today. That brings him to a grand total of 5 on the year. Chris Heckenberg as well, playing provider, and those 2 big center backs. Going to don that award for the first time. A point of pride for this FC Naples organization. They made the right choice with who to hand the steering wheel off to start this project up. Plenty of other fireworks across the league. Save of the week, the goal of the week, coming to you now.
The words of Vanny Clark, one of his prized possessions. Here's Villalobos! Breaking the hearts of fans last week. And filling them here this evening at Lancaster Municipal Stadium.
Putting the ball up high. Here comes Castro. Left wide for Evans, who cuts it in. A beautiful cross, an even better stop. Matt Levy takes one off the board.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Hey, same shirt. Is it? Well, yours is new, obviously.
It only looks new. That's because he takes it to Tide Cleaners, where we keep clothes looking newer 50% longer. At Tide Cleaners, we care about your clothes as much as you do.
How's it look?
Newer 50% longer.
Awesome.
Hey, same order.
Head to my.tidecleaners.com to get started.
Taking the sights and scenes in a picturesque park in the Paradise Coast Sports Complex in the home side. There's 2-1 up over Richmond Kickers. The news and notes from around the league has much to do with this FC Naples in their own right as they move on in that competition to face USL Championship opposition this weekend. The upcoming schedule for FC Naples on road to get another blemishless result.
All is perfect. Only
paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Luxury isn't just about where you live, it's about how you live. At Parker Hudson Homes, we craft bespoke residences where elegance meets effortless comfort. From custom builds to refined remodels, every detail is designed around you, your style, your vision, your way of living. Create a home that's truly yours and discover Parker Hudson Homes today.
More tables, more entertainment.
Halftime highlights brought to you by Lake Park Diner, and there were plenty. Carson Henderlong would score later on in the half, but first, Andres Farine would use his face and use his head to get a goal, put his side up 1-0 within the first couple of exchanges, and here is Carson Henderlong. Andres Farine on the front ends as he would pace the play down the wing and find Henderlong in the slot to stick it home. Just won the race to the inside shoulder, and once the ball got beyond James Snedden, all he had to do was apply a final touch. But Richmond kickers would finally break through the blockade, and this is the type of strike that was required to do it. Darwin Espinal settling the ball, playing the 1-2, getting it back, and using his technique to twist by Ian Serro. Once in a pocket of air, was never going to hesitate to pull the trigger as he blasts it in from range. Halftime stats are presented by Arthrex. Does an injury have you benched? Explore orthopedic treatment at orthopedia.com, powered by Arthrex. And here are those numbers. 5 shots, 3 shots on target for Naples. They've scored 2 of those 3, and pretty even on possession and everything else. Promises an exciting second half of play, which we are ready to bring you now. Appears Emiliano Terzaghi has come on for Richmond, and it takes little introduction for a player of his distinction, his posture within the league's history, that collection. That exited the game. He was sitting on a yellow card. O'Dwyer, the one who makes a spot. Emiliano Terzaghi. And Kirkland's day is done. Didn't have much involvement. Josh Kirkland's. He's replaced by Adrian Bilhart. It is a orange pastel pigment that colors the sky now. Sunset beneath beaming lights. Between kickers and FC Naples. After a fastly fashioned advantage by FC Naples, Richmond able to snag one back and would look to go level on this move. Good work on the ball by FC Naples. O'Connor pulsing one ahead. It's Henderlong bending in. Carson Henderlong still coming. Henderlong laid off now and flashed high. Henderlong just refused to allow anybody to come close to the ball. Fashioned himself a bit of a shooting angle. Paused on it for a second before making the unselfish decision, and it looked like it was Ian Serro who allowed himself to lean back a touch too much. It's another nearly moment for FC Naples. a chance from Cisneros right before the end of the half on the breakaway. Couldn't convert there. Richmond race away. Ruse raiding party into the box before Dangler can wipe it away. Franca. Barnathan. Once more, Peyton Gallagher here with you alongside for the ride between SC Naples and Richmond kickers. And receiving a swift kick. Here's one of the Richmond players. It was Carson Henderlong who just slips and careened into James Snedden. And Barnathan was taken down as play proceeded. This Richmond attack has not offered all that much beyond the one scoring strike, but if previous matches are any indication, you could see something in the second half from them. They've had double-digit shots in all of their games so far this year. Only a handful so far. Five minutes into the frame. Richmond have already made 4 substitutions here after having to take Griffin Garnett off in the first half. For the most part, this will be the group the rest of the way. From Darren Sawatsky's perspective, only one more change to make. And it looks like a handball has been awarded. Andres Farine wanted to play advantage. That said, this is prime real estate right now for SC Naples. They're going to make them push the ball up further to where the actual foul took place. Onan wanted to take it from a deeper distance. That would have allowed him to get it up and down over the wall a bit easier. See if any of these Naples players are brave enough to go for goal here. O'Connor and Onan with Henderlong meandering about behind the ball. Dangler and Breck Evans lying in wait at the back posts. Snedden leaving a lot of space to the near side of the goal. 4-man blockade. Jaden Onan wrapping it in and skips straight into the chest of Snedden. Onan taking a page out of the playbook of Declan Rice and wrapping it around the wall. Not easy technique, but ultimately not nearly enough venom. SC Naples is looking to keep their run going in the U.S. Open Cup against USL Championship team Tampa Bay Rowdies. Scan the QR code to get your tickets for Wednesday's high-stakes affair. Terzaghi with a touch. Rhyming passes together, Richmond kickers, but then the one that goes all wrong. Espinal Searching pass in behind and will be picked up at feet by Lalo Delgado. Glasser will watch it roll out of play. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com. The complete TV listings. Ball into the box. Terzaghi. Rather that, no, it was Emiliano Terzaghi. They gave it pursuit. Always in and about the front end. Should be unmistakable at this point. Always seems to pop up in the area. This time a little bit overzealous, trying to gain it back, and goes through the back of Max Glasser. Breck Evans trying to play one in behind, the league's leader in long balls this year. Naples picking up the pieces. Cisneros sprays one in behind, and unable to keep his foot down on the gas was O'Connor. Making a really smart second man run in from deep midfield areas. Again, that's the kind of patterning that Matt Poland is really trying to instill, the counter movement. One player comes short, another goes long, continues to pull apart the defensive shape of the opposition. Couldn't make it work that time, but promising signs in that department from FC Naples. Franca now down the line. Speeding away now. Richmond. Target in sight before it's cued away and out for a throw. Terzaghi. Settling touch from Espinal. Was on its way to Terzaghi before FC Naples were able to intervene. Seufert. Recovered by Franca. Beckett Howell. Another Academy product. A litter of them up and down this Richmond roster. Now making his first appearance tonight since the opener against South Georgia Tormenta. It includes the Open Cup. Approaching the hour mark, held up by Henderlong. Dug out by Seufert. Foul is awarded. A foul that was just called already, the 21st exchange between the two teams. 3 bookings for Richmond kickers, a pair for FC Naples. Naples pressing high. Pedal to the metal, Onan. And went straight through James Sneddon, who wins another foul. Both sides in double digits in the department now. In terms of just keeping tabs on who has been booked, players that are currently on the field, Glasser and Henderlong, the ones who have had their names taken for FC Naples. Both Shenfield and Griffin Garnett had received cautions, but both have summarily been subbed off. Franca is the lone man for Richmond. That has to be extra careful. Once more, Yellow Cards are brought to you by the law offices of Mark L. Shapiro this evening. Bit of the tempo and tension has escaped this game. The first quarter hour of the second half. Seufert. Billhard. Terzaghi steaming back to the goalkeeper. Breck Evans, not a lot of options. Finally does thump away. Henderlong. Straight off the feet of Heckenberg. And back with Richmond. Adrian Billhard again. The overlap, the ball in, the block. It's a corner.
Corner kick, Richmond. This corner kick brought to you by Anderson. Trust your home.
This corner is brought to you by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. Naples, a test of what's been previously a sturdy foundation. No side has scored multiple goals on them in the league this year. In fact, in any competition. Richmond need to do exactly that to tie. Ball in. Just delivered into that corridor of indecision at the top of the 6-yard box, but it's a stunted header and it's a goal kick. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. You can download now. Once more, it's Henderlong just vacuuming the ball in, but can't keep it with FC Naples. Howell and Franca and Barnathan, who, if there was any question about it, has certainly slotted back into the back four as a center back. Play allowed to continue. Cisneros with a clean winning of possession. Farine stepped along by Onen. Involving himself is Barnathan. Doing so as well as Cisneros, and this time not so clean. Richmond did claim 9 points from losing positions a year ago. That was in the truncated league campaign last year due to Jaeger Cup. Tied for the 4th best mark in the division. That's not going to get it done. Bit of an aimless ball as Seufert was not on the same page there. Looked like it was Espinal who was dropping into supply. Onen wiggles in and wins it up high. Farine, a settling first touch. Andres Farine, it falls kindly. Henderlong still has it. Going the wrong direction, now Ian Cerro. Scooped in and left behind Cisneros, and all of a sudden, plenty of green grass to go into for Richmond. A skyscraping switch. Bit of a thoughtless header, puts Dangler in a tight spot, and he performs admirably. Probably the best possible outcome there for FC Naples, pinned in against the byline. Up tall, over the head of Terzaghi. Delgado, a little bit confused at the defensive structure there. Cisneros finally jabs it away. Henderlong, he's slammed into. I believe that was Franca, who already has been booked. Play continues to commence towards the attacking end for FC Naples. Cerro takes one on the chops. Nothing more than a throw. Contentious. FC Naples is looking to keep their run going in the US Open Cup against USL Championship team Tampa Bay Rowdies. Matches coming up on the near-handed horizon. Luca Purpa being prepared. There he is, Purpa. Started the previous game against Texoma, something of a second striker next to Carson Henderlong. He will replace Ian Cerro. Plenty of competition for playing time in those wide spaces, both on the left and right flank. See if Purpa's deployment is a little bit more central. Substitutions presented by Seminole Casino Hotel. Purpa, who mustered 30 touches in 89 minutes in that Texoma game. Didn't have a lot of access to the ball, but when he did, he was able to play plenty of good passes. And don't look now, Naples. Wide eyes ahead of this set piece that mimics that of a corner. It belongs to Kevin O'Connor. He won't directly be credited with the assist on the opening goal, as it took a redirection, but as always, so devilish as he sweeps it in. Over the head of Sneddon, and stabbed in, but it looks like the referee's come in as he waved it off for interference. That appears to be the case. The young goalkeeper, James Sneddon, watched it go over his head, but absorbed some contact in the process, and that cancels out the goal. Here's another look. O'Connor plays one in. And I'm not so sure that Sneddon didn't have equal opportunity to play the ball. The referee had a great advantage though, and his determination is final. With a new lease on life, Adrian Bilhard and his kickers. O'Connor has it. And Purpa goes tilting down. Turned in over the top once more. Sneddon a little bit indecisive as he came out to play sweeper keeper. O'Connor grabs it back for FC Naples. Increasingly starting to lose their grip on the game a little bit. There have been openings for Richmond. Cisneros. Once more over the back of the Richmond defense, and a yellow card for simulation this time for Kevin O'Connor. referee says there's more where that came from if you don't back off. O'Connor heeds the warning. It was Franca who was step for step, and there had been illicit contacts. It could have been a sending off as he's already on a yellow card. Instead, it's O'Connor who finds himself seeing colors as well. Another foul given. Two sides nose to nose. Glasser can't keep a lid on it. Tap dance on the far flank. Scraped back by Richmond kickers. Just trying to get off the hook as Farine has taken up residence on that right-hand side now. Farine scoring the first goal of the game. Onan crowded off the ball. Good look at Matt Polentz. This is virgin territory for FC Naples. They say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in the sport. And this is the first gut-wrenching anxiety of seeing that lead threatened that FC Naples have faced as a club. Ball in, it's a well-placed one! And hopping wide.
Goal kick, FC Naples.
Simon Fitch with a peach of a ball. And it was Espinal who rose highest, already with a taste for goal today. Perpa driving out from the back. Poorly posited pass, now Terzagi's onto it. With the overlap there, it's Fitch. Simon Fitch. Vaughn and Bill Hard. Pistons pumping into the box. Fitch again. Blotted out for the time being. Seufert. Naples rarely look this scrambled defensively, but they hold their nerve. Richmond have found ways to pry open pockets of space. Certainly might say that it wouldn't be surprising if they were able to pull this deficit all the way back, the way things have played out. Another rainbow-shaped ball. Cutting himself clear. Bulldog. Bill Hard. Shuffling in field into zone 14, Seufert. And repulsed again by FC Naples. A hip toss and a free kick. Cisneros is not going to allow Adrian Billhart to guide by him, and it's from a menacing space. A dainty delivery. More about placement than pace. Adrian Billhart, 3 men in front of him. Played short and shelled high and handsome. It was a clever little plan. James Vaughn can't make good on the plotting machinations of kickers from the dead ball, and it's a yellow card, I believe, to Lalo Delgado, almost certainly for time wasting.
A yellow card has been issued to FC Naples' Lalo Delgado.
So the captain goes into the book. Wouldn't be the first time he's been booked for time wasting. I believe that might already be the second this year for that exact same thing. Call it game management for the goalkeeper. Another whistle. We are now surpassing 30 combined team fouls. Richmond rambling into the final third. Decisive pass, once more proving elusive. Onan, plenty of room. The knockdown, Luca Perpa. Pins one wide, Cisneros. Cisneros, a bridge too far. Heckenberg and Breck Evans. Naples a chance to relieve some of the tension. They've been under siege for the last 5 to 10 minutes. Cisneros on the first touch. Perpa. Henderlong able to bend the corner. Franca closing any breathing room quickly. Little side spinner that Onan now takes in tow. Looks like Vaughn is struggling to carry on. Naples trying to cash in the advantage. Farine. Flamenco on the ball. Farine guiding one in, and with too much carriage. And Naples was slow to key into the playing out of the back, and it could be something that Richmond punish here. Billhart. Wide of him is Terzaghi. And wider still, Bulldog. And repossessed by Julian Cisneros. You wonder when Matt Poland may look into his dugout and make some changes. Open Cup on Wednesday to think about. Heckenberg is not thinking about that though, as he is on approach to the box. Heckenberg. A slaloming dribble and just lost the plot at the end. Espinal. Seufert. A bad back pass. Farine. In need of support and never gets the chance to wait for it as it's banged off his shin and out for a throw. And on the topic of substitutions, one more to be made, but it's not by FC Naples. It's the last for Richmond kickers. Hayden Anderson stepping onto the wide side as Bulldog is relieved. Hayden Anderson started the first 2 games, started very well. In fact, scored a goal in the opener against South Georgia Tormenta, but since then has been used as a reservist. That is the role cast for him today with 12 minutes left in regular time. See how far forward he will set up. Hayden Anderson. A bad ball, not on the same page there. Espinal. That's lovely stuff. Composure in spades. Fitch. Anderson. Anderson was not up to full speed yet. And his first involvement in the match is to lose possession in the final third. The game has lost structure a little bit. A lot of heavy legs in this Florida sun and humidity. O'Connor is upended as Cisneros will watch it go, and another yellow card. Looks like James Vaughn is the one who infringed. Kind of surprised Cisneros pulled up like that. He definitely may have been able to clock in his periphery that O'Connor had been fouled, but looked like that ball was in reach. An advantage certainly would have been played. Great look back at that moment provided by Physicians Regional Healthcare System. Floated in by Heckenberg. Dangler was the target, and he went over the back to try and win it. They've been tight with the whistle on Dangler, specifically in those moments, trying to win the knockdown. Of course, it was he who provided the ball across the goal mouth that got the opening goal. Andre Shireen, most directly assisted by the post, and another change is going to be made. Mark Torres, much more defensive, much more twosome than O'Connor, whose day is done. O'Connor serving that role well and admirably as Park Ranger, roving between lines, connecting the play. Torres, a player much more about the knock and thrust, although he is plenty tidy on the ball in his own right. Oh, that's a clever ball. Cisneros with openings ahead. Terzaghi. The impetus is with Richmond kickers. Emiliano Terzaghi. Cisneros needed to step in. Espinal. Bill Hart about face. Bill Hart. It looked good. It was a shapely strike. Needed a touch more heat. That skips up in front of Lolo Delgado a foot later, and it's much more difficult to deal with. Seufert working through the gears, Richmond kickers. Fitch on the 1-2. Speed's free of Onan. Espinal is tumbled. Being given a little bit more roaming license now by Darren Sawatsky. Espinal, who scored earlier in the game to make it 2-1. It was his third consecutive game with a goal now. Maybe he's the one to unlock this vaunted SC Naples defensive outfit. Snen didn't quite get all of that. Torres will pick it up. That actually Henderlong who drifted all the way back. A faulty pass, and Fitch flings one out. There's so much space between lines right now, very uncharacteristic for Naples. Espinal into the box, and still Espinal. Sliding in to hook it out of play was Dangler. It is a corner kick with the wind whipping. Pressure at the back as well. Anderson, corner kick, trust your home to Anderson. Five minutes from the finish line. Within swing. Lofton Lurch. A long header away. Anderson's lost it. Perpa has it now. Sees the man making the run on the right. He wants a handball. He will not get it. Naples have missed every attempt at the knockout punch this evening. A curled run in toward the corner. Jonathan needed a little bit more room to keep that on. Terzaghi. Terzaghi. Looks like he might just get enough of the ball to keep the move in motion. He does not. Henderlong, though, looks up, casts his attention toward the attacking target. There's a man down. And a whistle blown, and a yellow card for stopping the advance.
A yellow card has been issued to Richmond's number 34, Beckett Howell.
Beckett Howell is the one who has shown that yellow. And this is pretty textbook. So whips out at Andres Farina a little bit. Expected goals can be a bit of a faulty measure in a single game sample size, so an asterisk here, but this is quite illustrative, so we're going to say it anyway. The discrepancy right now, Richmond kickers 0.25 expected goals on the game. SC Naples 2.43. Naples have been good for it. Richmond really only mustering one real chance, a wonder strike from Darwin Espinal. The fifth time Richmond kickers have scored from outside the area this year, which is already more than all of last season. Naples have suffocated the game quite well after scoring twice early. They just need to break the tape now, as the board is being calibrated. Richmond are out of substitutions, so deductive reasoning would tell you it's probably SC Naples making these changes, and it will be. Coming on. And Gustavo Fernandez, who's made this particular responsibility his exact position within the team. Fernandez providing a little bit more reinforcement at the back. He's come on in each of the last 5 games to see it out. New sign as well being entered. Max Glasser, Jaden Onen, and Andres Farine, the ones who make vacancy. Here comes Rubenstein. Richmond kickers with only 7 touches in the opposition's box. We are entering the final minute of regular time. They will need a moment of magic if they are to dig this out ahead of this free kick. He goes stumbling into the area before skidding away. Closed down quickly. And a swiftly involved Marcus Torres. Cisneros latching on. Lunging into the foreground, he lost the ball and then impeded Simon Fitch. Waiting on confirmation of stoppage time. All 3 goals in the first half. Richmond on the ropes. Darwin Espinal darting into the area. Bill Hart wanted a call. He's not going to get it at 7 minutes of stoppage time.
And the official time is being kept on the field. The 4th official has indicated
Stoppage time is brought to you by Tide.
Of 7 minutes of added time in this second half.
Naples assuredly hoping to stay clean the rest of the way. Luca Perpa pacing down the line. FC Naples making headway, making inquests, and making a collision. That was a crushing challenge. What is the word? It looks like it's just going to be a warning to what appears to be Beckett Howell, who already had been booked. He would have been sent off if the referee went for the pocket. And I don't know. They're going to say shoulder to shoulder. Looked like Fernandez had turned and caught that on the small of the back. But now the question remains for FC Naples, what to do with this free kick. Always have to be mindful of potential counterattacks, I should say. In the following phase from a set-piece delivery. A stiff header. One high, Rubenstein, just watch it roll away from him. He committed a foul and no advantage presented. That was actually Mark Torres who put himself up amongst it up high. Not sure why the fans are booing. Barnathan has only been wasting time against his own cause. Franca fashioning himself a striker now. Terzaghi, it falls for Espinal. Still Darwin Espinal, it's blocked. A blasting header and a price is paid. Gustavo Fernandez and Beckett Howell coming together, sparks flying. Espinal hesitating to pull the trigger, and just too many bodies in the way. Screaming across the night sky. Torres. Henderlong shows an interest. Rubenstein couldn't measure the final pass. Richmond struggling to get rid of it though. Who wants it? Seufert. Trivella on the delivery. Foul is committed. These are precious seconds coming off the board for Richmond kickers. There's more in tight cleaner stoppage time, 7 minutes of it. Naples, despite being a bit jelly-lagged in a phase, a flash of quality in that first half from Darwin Espinal, have sufficiently squeezed the life out of this game. They're 2 minutes from approaching the history books. Victory or even a draw here for that matter would put them within 1 game of the second best ever start and 2 games within the best ever start. Unbeaten for an expansion club. And continue to grow their lead at the top of the division. Kept on by Perpa. Fernandez straight into the corner, making no bones about this. Perpa holds on as long as he can, and with 1 minute left, Richmond need to go the length of the field. Just taking a whack at it. I think he was just trying to draw the time-wasting yellow card and effectively does so. It was Vaughn who just played it straight into Perpa. And in theory, that's always supposed to be an automatic yellow for stopping the restart. Last chance saloon. Do Richmond have what it takes to revive themselves? Loose ball. Vaughn. Seufert. A feathered header and flown wide. Darwin Espinal. Seufert infield, back for Espinal at the byline. The cutback is clawed out. It is over. Naples take the best blow from Richmond kickers and secure the victory.
We keep on rolling, taking 3 points.
The league's southernmost team at the most northerly perch of its table.
FC Naples 2, Richmond kickers 1.
The story of the early season is in South Florida.
At Paradise Coast Sports Complex on Wednesday, April 16th at 7 p.m. as we take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies in round 3 of the
Carson
US
Henderlong
Open Cup.
Scores what ultimately becomes the winning goal. His 5th league goal of the year.
With TJ Swayway.
He is the man of the match, presented by Waste Management. WM is driving sustainability. How about that for sustainable? FC Naples, the full match highlights. This feels like an eon ago. Andres Farine, the play of the match here as he supplies Carson Henderlong, who's just a loose freight train on the tracks. Continuing on, the play of the match, the save of the match, I should say, is this from Lalo Delgado. who put Knuckles 2-1. He didn't have much to do today. A key involvement there, though, to deter a set piece with eyes for the back of the net. Matt Poland has his guys in good form. We step aside. More post-match coverage when we return.
Floater save made by Delgado.
Here on Florida's Paradise Coast, you can play your way. Whether you prefer an action-packed court, a leisurely round of golf, or the thrill of watching a professional soccer match, your only challenge is finding a way to do it all. So visit a luxurious playground that scores big for everything from its award-winning beaches to its incredible restaurants. Because when you want a vacation where all is perfect, only Paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades.
Naples, all they know is victory. Once more, 2-1 the final score over Richmond. Kickers, 2 early goals, enough to get through the long winner of the rest of the match. Although Delgado reaping it in with the supporters. FC Naples approach a U.S. Open Cup match against Tampa Bay Rowdies and look to continue the good tidings that they ensured today, and it started early. Off the post and straight to Andres Farine, who scored with his face. It all counts. These highlights are brought to you by Maxwell Mortgage Team, financing the world one loan at a time. If you have to be buying what FC Naples are selling so far, Corson Henderlong winning the race and rocking it in. Again, Corson Henderlong with 5 goals on the year. Renewing the interest, though, would be Doan Espinal, who's had a scent for the back of the net in his own right, picking the ball up about 30 yards from goal, turning his man inside out, and giving room to range one into side netting. Do not make any mistake. These fans know it as well. 6 games unbeaten for FC Naples.